Yours good, we back again. And oh my days, the things that I'm gonna talk about in this video, like when I realized these things, it was mind blowing to me. It really changed my my whole perspective on what trading is about, and how I even should be trading, right? Because I used to always think trading is a pinpoint accuracy thing, some sniper shooter thing where you need to be right almost 100% of the time just to be profitable. But now, knowing these things, I know that you can literally be wrong most of the time and still be profitable, right? So I've got six things that I want to talk about. And the first thing is, you can be wrong and still make profit, just like I said. And one of the big mistakes, one of the many mistakes that I was making up until last month, January, was trying to aim for these zealous TPs, but without taking any partials, without doing any break even, without decreasing my risk, right? So what I would do is I would literally have a trade, like a 1 to 3, 1 to 4, 1 to 5 trade idea. And once I've taken the trade, it was either SL or TP. No break even, no partials, nothing. All right. Unless it was news, I literally just had the mentality of SL or TP. And the problem with this was it was going it was going pretty well for me for a while, until I realized that it's not sustainable. Because first of all, you're gonna the stress you're gonna have the whole time, because I was literally in trades for hours, right? Because I'm obviously having because I obviously have these high RR trades, and I'm not taking any partials, right? So I could be in trades for a couple of hours, and it's very stressful because you're not taking any partials. So all of that profit, so let's say for example your TP is, I don't know, 4%, right? And you're 2.4% up in profit, right? That profit is not yours. That is open profit. Price can literally reverse on you, and you now wasted your money and your time as well, because you did not take any partial. You didn't pay yourself, right? And yeah, it's just not sustainable. It's very hard, and mentally it's too draining as well. So what I've started doing in February now is I actually made a strategy for myself, like a partial strategy. Whereas now, when I'm taking trades, the goal is not even TP anymore. Obviously, I have a TP, I have a SL, but the goal now is to go risk free as quick as possible. And I actually have a strategy for that, right? Where when price reaches a certain point, then I will take my partial. And once I've taken that partial, then I'm completely risk free. From now on, it doesn't matter if price reverses on me, if price goes, yeah, and hits my TP. If it doesn't matter what happened, the moment I've taken that partial, I've already won the trade, right? And it's much more like, mentally, it's much more, it's safer, right? It's safer, it's easier, because where I take my partial it isn't that far off from where my entry is, right? Let's say for example, just as an example, my trade is a 1 to 4, right? And once my trade has gone like, from my entry, once my trade is like a 1 to 2, So let's say, for example, my trade was a 124, and my SL was around, let's say, 4 pips, right? 4 pips. So a 1 to 2 for this trade would be at 8 pips, because 8 times, like 4 times 2 is 8, right? So at 8 pips, I would then take a partial, right? And then my TP is still 1 to 4, right? At one to at 8 pips, I will take a partial, right? Now, once I've taken that partial, I've already won the trade. I'm completely risk free. Once again, it doesn't matter if it hits TP, SL. If it's SL, I'm still profitable, because that partial that I've taken is much higher than that SL, or break even, or whatever the case, right? If it hits TP, then it's even, like, there's just extra profit, right? And the reason why I didn't like taking partials before is because I thought, all right, I'm taking minimum 1 to 3 trades, and I need to make sure that my TPs are actually TPs, because these TPs are paying or covering my losses. Let's say, for example, I make 2 or 3 consistent losses. I now need to hit TP so those losses go away, right? But like I said, that's not it's just not sustainable. It's not easy, and right, and mentally it's also very, very draining, right? And yeah, I always thought, like, you need to, like, when it comes to TP, you need to have 100 or hit 100% of your TP. But that's BS. That's not true. Like, even with my partial strategy, if price was to eventually still hit TP, then I would have still gotten 73 or 70 something percent of the, like, of what the TP was offering. If price if my TP was, let's say, 2%, and I'm using this partial strategy, right? I took my partial, I'm already risk free, and price still hits my TP. I might not make 100% of the profit. I might not get 2% down, but I will get 70% of that 2%, right? And I'm willing to pay that 30% of profit. So I'm decreasing my risk, so it's much safer, right? This guarantees profit in a way, because I'm already going risk free. I'm already taking partials a bit earlier, right? So yeah, man. And this way, if you, like, once you've taken your partial, price can reverse on you. And this is what I mean by you can be wrong and still make profit. You can just, like, once you've taken your partial and price reverses on you, you're still profitable. You've still won the trade, because your partial is bigger than your SL, right? And yeah, this was, like, very big for me. And the thing is, with these, like, when you do this as well, it doesn't, like, you don't need to hit TP. If you take your partial and price reverses on you, then those small gains, they add up, right? Those small gains add up. Imagine if you've taken partial and price then hits your SL, and now you've made 0.25% profit. Bro, 0.25 times 4 is 1%. If you've got 4 trades like this in a month, right? And this is, like, the worst case scenario, aside from a loss, obviously. But let's take losses out of the equation. This is the worst case scenario, right? You take a partial and then price reverses. So basically, price doesn't fully, like, move into your favor. It doesn't fully hit your TP. Before it hits your TP, it reverses on you, right? But you still manage to profit to take some partials. And that way, those small gains, like those small gains that you're making, they add up. And if you have those scenarios 4 times a month, 0.25% times 4 is 1%. 1%, bro, if you count that every single month, that is like that is money, bro. Like it's not nothing. 1% is money, right? And this is the worst case scenario. Don't forget. So yeah, man, you don't need to be right. You can literally be wrong and still make profit. You don't need this pinpoint sniper shooter accuracy every single time. You really don't. All right. Now, the second thing is don't focus on making big profits. It's much easier and much safer and less riskier to focus on small consistent gains, right? Let me say that again. Small consistent gains. I would much rather make 2% every single month, right? As a safety haven, knowing that I'm gonna make that every single month, than to make 10% this month and then 20% the next month and then minus 5% the next month and then minus 2% the next month. You know what I'm trying to say? I would much rather have like these small consistent gains every single month because like it's much easier, it's much safer, right? I don't need to make 20% in one trade, or I don't need that, right? I'm not focused on this short-term dopamine hit because at the end of the day, trading, we're not in this for like this isn't just an in and out thing, right? We're trying to stay in the game for as long as possible, right? Me personally, I'm trying to stay in this game until I die. Get me? So I like if I have that mindset, if I have that mentality, then I want to be trading in a way that is consistent, right? That is consistent long term. So, yeah, don't focus on making big profits. Just focus on small, consistent gains. Never forget, small, consistent gains, they add up. They add up, right? Now, next thing is trade as if you're trading with millions and not as if you're trading with thousands. Now, when I implemented this mindset, like trading with millions instead of thousands, bro, that was like the way I'm now looking at numbers is different, right? Now let's say this right now. Let's say we're all millionaires, right? We're all trading with millions of dollars, euros, pounds, whatever, right? Because I'm talking from a point of trading prop firms, right? Most people trade like 100, 200K accounts and then they try to make thousands, right? But let's say we're all millionaires right now, right? Even me. Now, right now I'm a millionaire as well, right? If I'm trading with like if I'm putting down a mil on every single trade, right? I'm not gonna be aiming like I'm not gonna be aiming for these zealous numbers. I'm not gonna try to make like like 15% a one goal, or I'm not gonna try and make like 150,000 in one goal if I'm trading with 1 million, right? Because when people like with these prop firms, when people have these 100K accounts, they also try to make like 5K in one trade or whatever, right? But it's not even about how much, it's literally the capital that counts, right? Because trading is a capital game, my friend. It's not a it's not a profit game. Trading is a capital game, right? 0.25% of 1K or no 20.25% of 1 mil, that is around 2,500, right? That is that's an average monthly salary, 2,500, right? So if I'm making these small gains, right? 1%, 2%, even like I said, 0.25% of a million, bro, that's not nothing, bro. That is still money, right? But when we like, for some reason, we have like a lot of us traders and even me, when we trade with like smaller capital, we don't look at percentages, we look at the numbers, right? We want to have these big numbers, but we don't think of these, like we don't think in percentages. We just want big profits, big numbers, right? But the thing is, when you're trading with millions, you're not gonna try you're not gonna try making as big profit as possible. You're gonna you're gonna try preserving your capital and making small gains, right? And realistically, you should be doing the same exact thing when you're trading with thousands as well, right? Because if you're gonna trade like that when you're trading with millions, right? Where when you're only making 1 to 5% and you're happy with that, then you might as well do that now as well, right? At the start when you're trading with smaller capital, because you're not gonna trade with small capital, try making these crazy profits, and then once you're a millionaire, you're gonna now like calm down, and no, you're gonna keep on trading the way you were trading, right? And if you do change your trading style, then you're probably gonna mess up the way you trade, and it's just not gonna work with you, right? Once again, I'm trying to stay in this game for as long as possible until I die, right? So if I wanna when I'm trading with millions, when I'm a millionaire, I wanna be trading a certain way, right? It's like small consistent gains. So if I wanna do that later, then I might as well build the habit now, right? So yeah, man. The next one is trading. Taking more trades isn't equivalent to bigger profits, but more risk is. So I usually only take like high probability trades, right? That's why I only have like 1 or 2 trades a week. The absolute maximum is 3, but that's very rare. Most of the time I have like 2 trades a week, right? On average. And I don't have the problem anymore now, but I used to trade every single day, like from Monday to Friday. Sometimes even take multiple trades in that, like a day, every single day from Monday to Friday straight. And I just realized, like after some time, I realized that I'm not even trading anymore. I'm just gambling, right? And when you're taking like that many trades, you're not trading to trade, you're trading to make money. Because once you start trading for money, that's when you start taking these meaningless, low probability trades and then just lose money because of the low quality trades that you're taking, right? Now, mind you, I actually know people that trade every single day and they're doing very well for themselves, right? But I'm just trying to say, most of the time, like a lot of people, when they trade every day, it's not because they see a good setup every day, it's because they're trying to make money, right? And let me just clarify myself on this as well. Everybody that's a trader is trying to make money, right? Doesn't matter if they trade once a week, if they trade 5 times a week, everybody is trying to make money. But once again, a lot of the times, a lot of people that trade or try trading every single day, those are the same people that are, they have this, how do you say it? They have this urge, they need to make money, they need to make profits. Whereas people that are like, that have an edge, that have a system, they obviously want to make money as well, but they don't need to make money. They're more abundant, and that's the big difference, right? I also have periods where I have more trades because the market is it's presenting me with more opportunities, right? But it's not coming from a perspective from I need to make money. This is why I'm trading every single day. No, the market is presenting me an opportunity, more opportunities than usual, and I'm obviously going to pursue that, right? But honestly, I'm not really a scalper, right? So I'm more of a longer term, medium term type of trader. I'm not a swing trader, but I'm just before that, right? So yeah, I mean, with my trading style, trading every single day is crazy anyway. But yeah. Now, the last thing is think in terms of percentages and not in terms of numbers. Now, this made things like easy for me. This helped my trading psychology, right? Because when you're thinking in numbers, once again, if you made a profit and you're looking at the numbers, that profit may not satisfy you, and since you're not satisfied with the profit that you've made, you might tend to have this urge to enter the markets once again, and now you're gonna basically give the markets your money back, right? Or if you've lost a trade and you're also looking at it in numbers, then you're gonna be stressing out. You're gonna think you're blowing your account when you just made a little profit, a little loss that you could just make right back anyways, right? Let's talk about 100K prop firm account, for example, right? Now, if I was to make a 1% loss, me knowing that I lost 1% is far more comforting than saying I've lost $1,000, right? It's just, I don't know, it's just this psychology thing for me at least, right? Whenever I make losses and I think in terms of percentages, I just tend to stay way more calm. But when I look at it in numbers, like you want to lose $1,000, right? For some people it's a lot, for some people it isn't. But obviously, we developing traders, $1,000 is not nothing. It's money, right? Even if you already are profitable, it's still money, right? But when you look at it as, all right, I lost 1%, that's calm because all you need is to make profit and you're back on track again, right? The same goes with profits, right? I don't look at it as I made $3,000 today or I made $4,000 today. No, I look at it as I made 3% today or I made 4% today, right? Now, once again, a lot like some people 3,000, 4,000, they might look at that and be like that's not a lot. I want to make 10,000 in one trade. I want to make 8,000 or 5,000 in one trade. But once again, let's think we're trading millions and not a virtual 100K account. If you're trading millions and you make 4% in one trade, that is 40,000 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that is 40,000. That's a lot, right? That's why I said also, like, if you trade as if you're trading in millions and you think in terms of percentages and not numbers, your psychology is just gonna be much easier, and you're gonna be much more disciplined. The way you take your trades, the way you cope with your trade wins and losses, right? But I can only speak for myself, right? Obviously, every trade has a different way of processing it, but this is what works for me, right? So just to summarize everything, so if you only take A plus trades, right? You only take A plus trades, you have a partial strategy. So a strategy where you go risk free as quick as possible. This way you're gonna guarantee more profits. And you have your lot size strategy. So when you start losing trades or even when you win trade, when you're on a winning streak, you play with your lot size a little, like how much you're risking, because this way you're preparing yourself for the worst, right? For example, let's say if I make a loss right now using 10 lots on a 100k prop firm account, on the next trade I'm going to use 5 lots, right? Because this way, I only take trades that are at least that have at least a 1 to 3 RR, right? So if you look at it by the books, then you can make 3 consecutive losses and the fourth one has to be a profit in order for you to be back on track again, right? But I don't like to look at it like that, because anybody can easily make 5+ consecutive losses, right? So I need a system that's gonna protect me from that. And how do I combat that? I do that by lowering my risk every time I make a loss. So if I lose a trade using 10 lots one time, and then the next time until I win again, for example, I'm using 5 lots. Now I can't only make 3 losses. Now I can make 6 losses because I'm risking less, right? So if you play with the lot size a little bit, play with how much you're risking every time you win or lose a trade, then you can also that's also just a very easy way not of making it harder for your account to be blown, right? Anyways, so A plus trades, like only A plus trades, your partial strategy and your lot size strategy. This way, you're going to be decreasing your risk and increasing your win rate. So I've been doing this for some time now, and honestly, it's doing bits. Like I'm doing very well. It's really working for me, right? But once again, every trader is different. Every trader has a different trading style. So some people they do what I used to do, just SL or TP, and it works well for them, right? But for me, it didn't work. For my trading style, for my trading psychology, it did not work. I need to take partial. I need to go risk free as quick as possible, right? But I think in general, the safest way of trading is if you pay yourself, if you take partials, right? And if you have a strategy for that where you go risk free at a certain point, then you're just gonna guarantee more trades, because even if price reverses on you, you've already bagged money, right? You can't lose anymore. That's why I said also you don't need to be right all every single time. You can be wrong and still make profit, right? So yeah, man, that was all it for this video. Obviously, with this small, like, gains may be small, but they'll be very consistent. And honestly, I would much rather make 2% every single month than to make 20% one month and then -5%, and then I don't know 0.5%. Get me? I like structure. I like consistency, and I would much rather have consistent small gains over these big profit targets and etc. because they're just not sustainable. All right. So yeah, man, that was it for this video. I hope you guys could take some valuable things out of this. Obviously, take the good, take the bad, right? This is what worked for me, so I can only speak for myself. You don't need to do this, obviously, but I think it's just a very great and safe way of trading, and it just I think it just guarantees more profits and increases your win rate whilst decrease your risk, right? And once again, I trade like I'm trading millions, so I want to build the habit of making these small consistent gains. And to be honest, the gains aren't even small. Sometimes I even have very good months. It's just I don't have these zealous expectations, right? So yeah, man. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.